This video will cover 4-18 notes. So in 417 we looked at the percent proportion, and that is either is over of equals percent out of 100. That's what we used and what we'll use in 11 and 12. When we get to the applications though, a lot of times we don't have an is or an of. We have a part over the whole or total equals still your percent out of 100. All right, so just to remember with number 11, what percent is 0.5 of 3? So 0.5 is my is, 3 is of, percent out of 100. So we're going to put an X where the percent is. Then we cross multiply. 3x is equal to 50. Divide by 3, and we get 16.6 repeating percent. Number 12, 103.2 is, so we know that one's is, 48% of what number? So since I know I have a percent, I can put that over 100, and then the of is what I'm trying to figure out. So when I solve that, I'll try to squeeze it down here. 48x, cross multiply, is equal to 10,320. Divide by 48, and we get 215. So is over of equals percent over 100. Now when we look at the story problems, at the application problems, you're going to ask yourself if you have a part or if you have the whole thing. So for 13, a collector has 425 books, 56% of which were published prior to 1900. Now the of doesn't have anything to do with the is over the of. How many books were published prior to 1900? So we have a percent. Right away, we can put that over 100. So we have those two filled in. The other number is 425. So ask yourself, is that all of the books or is it only some of them? That is all of them. We're trying to figure out how many of them were published prior to 1900. So you would have 425 on the bottom because that's all or the whole of her books. So there's our proportion. Once you have that set up, again, just cross multiply. 100x is equal to 23,800. Divide by 100 and you get 238 books. Don't forget with story problems, they have to have a label. So 238 books is what we're looking for 13. For 14, 12 of the 28 dogs at the shelter are purebred. What percent are purebred? So you're trying to find the percent. So 12 out of 28 is what percent out of 100? So we would have 28x equals 1200. You're going to divide. You are going to get a really weird decimal for this. So it's 0.42857. So we're going to move it twice. That 5 tells that 8 to become a 9. So 42.9%. Bethany uses 8% of her weekly paycheck to pay for gas. If she spent $34.12 on gas this week, how much was her paycheck? So right away I see the percent, so I'm going to put that over 100, so I know about that one. So then we have to decide, is $34.12 her whole paycheck or just part of it? Well, it's only part of it. That's only what she spent on gas. So $34.12 would go here. You're trying to find how much her whole or her total paycheck was. So again, cross multiply, 8x equals 34.12. divide by 8. This is money, so you would get 426.5, so we need to put 50 and a dollar sign, $426.50. In Key West, Florida, it is sunny 75% of the days. How many days would you expect it to be sunny in the month of October? And this says to round to the nearest day. So the problem here is we only have one number, and it's our percent. So 75 out of 100. We need to know that there are 31 days in October, and that's the total days. We're trying to figure out how many of those are going to be sunny. So 100x is equal to 2325. So when I divide by 100, I'm going to get 23.25, and it said round to the nearest day, so this 2 tells that 3 to stay. So 23 days would be our answer for that one. For 17, on the high school football team, 62.5% of the players are juniors and seniors. There are 11 juniors and 19 seniors. So now we have two numbers with juniors and seniors plus the percent. So I'm going to start with the percent, 62.5 out of 100. Now, you do not do these two separately. We need to find the total number of players, so that goes down here. 11 plus 19 is 30. So 30 of the players are juniors and seniors. So sometimes you're going to have to do a little bit of work before you set up your proportion. Cross multiply, 62.5x is equal to 3,000. Divide, and we end up with 48 players, 48 total players. And our last one for Skittles. There's two different ways to do this. So 15% of the Skittles were purple. There were 60 total. We want to know how many were not purple. So there's two ways to do this. I'm going to put a line here. Our first way is use the numbers they give you, 15% and 60. So 15 out of 100 for our percent. There were 60 total in the bag. We're going to find how many are purple. So 15% were purple. So 100x is equal to 900. So we divide and we get 9. But that's 9 purple. That's not what it asked. They said how many were not purple. So then you need to do the extra step of taking 60 minus 9 to get 51 that were not purple. So that's one way to do it. Use the numbers they give you and realize that means you're finding how many purple, but that's not what they want to know. They want to know how many are not purple. So you have to take it away from the total. The other option is this. If you know that 15% are purple, 100 minus 15 is 85. So 85% are not. So you could do x over 60 equals 85 over 100. So 100x equals 5100. Divide, divide, and then you get your 51 not purple right off the bat. So two ways to do those. If they ask for the opposite of what they tell you, you can either use the numbers they give you, like I did the first one, and then subtract, or you can subtract the percent they give you from 100 and then use that percent to figure out your answer right away. But again, is over of equals percent out of 100, or part out of total, part out of whole equals percent out of 100. Set up your proportion and then cross multiply to solve.